Today on the channel, we take a trip back to the 90s in the Spider-Man animated series for the latest and greatest Hasbro Pulse exclusive 2-pack with Spider-Man and the Vulture.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Spider-Man the Animated Series Hasbro Pulse exclusive 2-pack unboxing and review. And today on the channel we got Vulture and we got Spider-Man. But for all your Spider-Man, Vulture, Marvel, you name it needs, hit up jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 15%. Yes, you heard it right. 15%. Got to get a deal out there. Head to jaystoysandgames.com. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And this is the latest and greatest 2-pack from this line. And it feels like it's been a little bit of time. Was it Hydro Man and like Daredevil or something was the last 2-pack, I think it was, which felt a little bit different than some of the key Spider-Man good guys, usually a Spider-Man, a Peter Parker, a symbiote, you get the point, with maybe a Sinister Six member. And now we get the Vulture. Now, Vulture, an interesting one over the years. To me, when I first think of Vulture, I'm different than the majority of people. This is what I think of. I think of the younger head on the Vulture. I think of the Spider-Man animated series. That's, I think, probably where I first ever heard of the Vulture back when I was a kid. I did read Spider-Man comic books pretty regularly. For whatever reason, I didn't come across a lot of issues with the Vulture that stuck with me, apparently. But this version of the Vulture here with the long hair, or the hair, I guess we'll say, really stuck out. And of course, collecting the Spider-Man animated series line back in the day, this was a pretty big deal. And I could still close my eyes and remember the Target I was at to get that original Toy Biz Vulture figure way back when. Back in the days where it was exciting. You go into a store, you didn't know what you were going to see. Every chance you went to a store, you could see something new. And that's where I was that day with that Spider-Man animated series line. So it was a pretty good day at the old store for young Kyle and old Kyle. Who are we fooling? Who are we fooling? But let's dive into this set here, of course. VHS style packaging. Very, very cool. And it's funny, everybody complains about the plastic-free packaging except on this. And then, of course, the X-Men animated series ones as well. Everybody seems to uniformly like that. So it feels like plastic-free can be done if it is done correctly. Obviously, you don't really have to worry about figure swaps and stuff like this, because it is coming from Hasbro Pulse and online retailers. This isn't a set you're finding at the Targets and Walmarts, of course. Animated art on the front looking good. That is my Spider-Man logo. That is my Marvel Comics logo looking good. Spider-Man Vulture right there. Spider-Man versus Marvel's Vulture over here. So if you want to display it, you can do it this way as well. The way I display mine, though, I save the boxes on these and I display them like this, like they're VHS tapes. I think that is pretty cool. Very, very nostalgic right there. Then on the back, Jibber Jabber UP City down low, and then we get a little glamour shots of the figures right there. So nothing too fun on the back. Would have been great for a little blurb or something along those lines. Spider-Man style, see you later. Not in the cards here for us, though. And now we're going to try to get these guys out of the package here. Off to the side, Skyhook. See you later, goodbye. Like a young Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or my dad on the driveway. You pick your poison. See you later. Shout out to my dad, of course. But we continue. We're going to get Vulture out. We got everybody ready to go. See you later. Goodbye. And now we got all the baggies. We got baggies for days is what's going on here. And something very interesting. See you later. I didn't realize it was in here, so I'm happy to see that. See you later. Goodbye. And we keep on going. The hits keep on coming like a young Mike Nesmith. I'll check out that album if you never heard it. See you later. Goodbye once again. Good old Spidey out of the plastic parchment paper or prison, I guess. You can reuse this parchment paper if you want to bake a cake or something. See you later. Goodbye. Hits keep on coming. They just never end, apparently, at this point. There it is. See you later. Goodbye. And it's funny is this hit the door from FedEx at the exact same time I was pre-ordering the Mondo Collectibles version of this Spider-Man. See you later. Goodbye. Got everything out of the package. So I'm going down that Spider-Man Mondo rabbit hole. I'm not sure how deep I'm going to go, but we're definitely venturing into it. So your mileage may vary, as we like to say here on the channel. But let's dive into Spider-Man first. Why not? We'll go good guy over bad guy. But we feel like we've been here before. That is for certain. We've had a lot of Spider-Mans that look pretty dang close to this. I'm not the best at identifying every single... All the lines on the mouth are different. I mean, at the end of the day, they're very, very similar. But that being said, you got to get Spider-Man out there on a regular cadence. That is the guy. You're not just going to put his bad guys out and no Spider-Man. So I understand while they're doing it. I just don't know. But the accessories bring us home here with a little bit of difference. We like that. So out of the package, he's got the I love you brother hands. He looks like the Superfly Jimmy Snuka going up on the top of the cage at Madison Square Garden back in the day. He's ready to do it if he needs to, of course. 2 fists of Spider-Man Fury, always looking good. And then we get 2 gripping hands here. Now, one thing that's missing is we're missing kind of the climbing the wall hands for Spider-Man. I feel like Spider-Man should always come with a ton of hands and also have a ton of articulation. He definitely needed that hand, unfortunately not in this pack. That being said, we probably got a million Spider-Man in our collection. Go through your parts bin, you can probably find one if you need to. Shouldn't have to, but it is an option if you want to. Now, we do get a gripping hand here, which is nice for this. And speaking of that Mondo figure, they actually have this same thing. So it is, of course, the Green Goblin in that one, though, as well. So you can always carry your mask like this. So that is kind of cool. It is something different for Spider-Man, at least in my collection. So I'm probably going to end up having him holding this and have the Peter Parker head going on here. And it is Peter Parker looking like a young Greg Brady, who, of course, Greg Brady from the movies, not the original TV show, The Brady Bunch, the Brady Bunch movie. The guy that played Greg Brady was also the voice of Peter Parker. So it was a pretty cool thing. Like, wait a minute, I know that voice. I love that Brady Bunch movie. I love this. I love the Brady Bunch as whole. Maureen McCormick, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss to little Kyle, of course. But looking good. It looks like Peter Parker from the animated series. Got that hair down in brown. Got a little bit of a sly kind of, not stoic, not mad, but a little bit on the cusp of a smile is what he looks like here. But looking good. He's got 2 eyes, got a nose, got a mouth, 2 ears, playing them human hits. So looks like Peter Parker to me. And right off the bat, I think I'll probably display the Peter Parker head on here. Holding his mask, at least, is my plan. But we do get the Eddie Brock head, which is very interesting as well. I should have grabbed, and I can always do it for the glamour shots, grabbed a Venom figure from this line and popped this head on there, because I don't know if we've had a good... we got one back in the regular comic Marvel Legends, I think, an Eddie Brock head, but I don't think we've ever got an animated. This is our first time getting an animated Brock head right there, so I do like that. I do like that, and I might use this for my Venom. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But we'll play a little games in the figure photography, of course. But once again, playing those human hits, and he is down there. So Eddie Brock having a bad day at the office. That's usually the case for him, as we do know. But shout out to Eddie Brock, of course. But now we're diving into Spider-Man once again. And this Spider-Man's got the articulation, and you got to have that with the Spider-Man, of course. Arms all the way around, butterfly shoulders, bicep cut, double jointed pinless elbows. You know those are the hits I want to be played. Hands back and forth, side to side. Get the head back and forth, side to side. Plenty of articulation on that head for all different kind of movements out of your Spider-Man. He does got a very nice tight ab crunch. You do got a waist articulation as well. Drop down hips are not a thing on this one here, but you do get the big old Spider-Man splits. Legs do go up. Thigh cut. Double jointed pinless knees. Once again, playing those pinless hits. Boot cut, and then you get the ankles up and down, side to side, back and forth. All the usual Spider-Man articulation that we know and want from our Spider-Man figures. Looking pretty good right there. And you see this, you know exactly who this is. You give this to a 2-year-old kid, they're going to know who this is. It is Spider-Man. You got the spider right there on the chest. Got those big white Spider-Man eyes, of course, webbing all over the head. You got a spider on the back. Got a hole in the back. Doesn't work for anything, but it is there in case you need it, if you need it, for whatever reason. But it does look really nice here, this Spider-Man figure. And it really just feels like we've been there before. I'm sure there's a few little differences here, but not a ton of differences to really be overly noticeable. I mean, it's probably something like, it was a bigger or smaller Spider-Man here. The eyes bigger or smaller. Is there webbing in the mouth, webbing not in the mouth? That's usually the difference for a lot of these ones, outside of the color. Sometimes it's lighter blue, sometimes it's darker blue. You know how it goes. Let's choose our own Spider-Man adventure. That's the way it goes there. But he does fit on a Mattel ringside collectible stand. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. I do got a previous version of Spider-Man here. This one is more of the cell shading here from the, of course, animated series as well. A little lighter blue color, darker blue on this one. Similar but different is what we're going to call it. But they're Spider-Man. They're both Spider-Man. But yeah, different enough. Different enough between these two. And that's usually how it goes with Spider-Man. They always change something, maybe articulation, maybe the hands, maybe the heads. There's always little changes, constant learning, constant improvement, enough to make you reach for your wallet for another Spider-Man figure. But now we're going to dive into the Vulture here, and a very cool one, and one I guess I forgot about, kind of. I didn't think of him for this line, but definitely fits in this line. You got two fisted gloves hands right here. Green coloring, of course, but two fists of fury for the Vulture if needed. And then you do get his wings. And these wings, I was wondering, they are reused from the prior version of the Vulture. Not a terrible Vulture. I got it right here, I guess, and I could pull it out. Not a terrible figure. This is how most people do think of the Vulture, kind of that old man Mr. Burns type look to him here. But I will say this figure feels very out of date with the current Marvel Legends. This figure is maybe 3 years old, 4 years old. What is time? I'm not sure. But he does feel a little bit out of date, if you ask me. I wouldn't be shocked to see him get rerun here in the next year, maybe 2 years possibly. But we are getting the same wings that we got with this one, just in a more of a tealish bluish color here. So you get the little wings and you get the two long wings, on point for a guy like the Vulture, as you can imagine. But now, getting down to business with the Vulture, I forgot or didn't remember that they had the old man head in here. And I think that was his thing. He could like suck the power and energy out of people and make himself be young. That was kind of his thing there. So you do get the Vulture, you get that crazy kind of mask. I don't even know what this mask does for you, but he does have this going here. No liver spots on his head like a young Mr. Burns or that Vulture, but it is the old man look. So if you want the old man look for this, you can do that. I'm going to stick with the young version because this is what I remember from the original toy in the Toy Biz days, and that's what this represents to me. So I really like the younger version of Vulture. He's got that long flowing mane up there looking good. Almost looks like Gambit. Gambit kind of has that same mask as well, kind of around his ears and everything, but does look really nice. Little skin tone popping at the top, and then we got some very 90s colors and kind of that green and blue color dancing together, looking very nice. Of course, you got the spots, the little ports here on the arms and the forearm to put the wings into, of course. He does got a little vest over the top as well. You got a little pistol in the side here. It is not removable. Got a nice belt as well. Then you got a little belts kind of around his thighs going there. Articulation can be the same as Spider-Man, it looks like here for the most part. No butterfly shoulders on him here. His arms do go around, but a little bit limiting by those shoulders, but they will get through there. You do get a bicep cut. Double jointed pinless elbows. Got to have those. Hands back and forth, side to side. Ab crunch. You got the waist up there. You got those big old Vulture splits if you need to. You do get the legs that go up. Thigh cut. Double jointed pinless knees, feeling good. Ankles back and forth, side to side, up and down. Pretty much the usual articulation for Marvel Legends at this point, but looking nice and clean with these pinless joints. I really do like that. Looking good. A pretty plain Jane base body on him here, but those colors and those gauntlets and the vest, everything does make him pop, and then you throw the wings on. You got a very interesting figure from there. So a good base added onto. Definitely works out. Forearm guards as well. Talked about those green gloves. Got the maniacal hands. Those I'm going to swoop up and pick you up hands that we know from the Vulture. Just all around really good figure. And like I said, one I forgot about and glad we finally did get. I'm here for all these Toys Biz Spider-Man figures to get made in the Marvel Legends line. I really enjoyed that line back in the day. I enjoy this line now, so I am for sure here for that. But there it is, Spider-Man and the Vulture. Hasbro Pulse exclusive as of right now. However, we know other retailers usually get these down the line. So if you're patient, you could always wait for other retailers or head to Hasbro Pulse right now, I guess is what you could do. But Spider-Man, you can't go wrong. You need a few different Spider-Mans in your collection, and we definitely needed the younger version, especially of this Vulture in your collection. So a fun 2-pack for what it is. But what say you? Is this a fun pack for you? Is this something you're going to pick up? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and my other YouTube channel. Check out the Patreon for more content and your best way to support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget social media, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for the Vulture and the Spider-Man 2, I am Kyle, and I'll see you guys all real soon.